If you wake up tired every single day, if you feel exhausted even when you do nothing, and if your body feels older than your age, you need to hear this first. You're not lazy. Your body isn't broken. And the real problem isn't what you think. Most people misunderstand exhaustion. They think more sleep will fix it. Coffee, supplements, vacations. But the kind of tiredness that never leaves you doesn't come from your body. It comes from your mind. A mind that never shuts down. A mind that keeps burning energy even while resting. A mind constantly trapped in worry, comparison, pressure, fear of falling behind. Your body is just showing the signal. It's reacting to something else working overtime. And the worst part is this kind of exhaustion cannot be fixed with sleep. If this already sounds like you, like the video, subscribe. This is only the beginning. Let's go deeper. Most people think exhaustion means the body is failing, but the body is far stronger than that. What's draining you isn't physical effort. It's constant mental pressure. Your mind never turns off. Even when you're sitting, even when you're lying down, even when you're asleep, you're always thinking about what you should have done, what you shouldn't have said, a future that hasn't arrived. But your mind is already living inside. And here's what that means. Your mind is stuck in survival mode, always alert, always reacting. And that state destroys energy. You're tired because your mind never feels safe. Not because you work too hard, but because even during rest, you don't allow yourself to rest. Your body is just the casualty of a war happening inside your head. And until you understand this, no amount of sleep, coffee, or motivation will save you. Now we reach something most people are afraid to talk about. Most of the exhaustion you feel today doesn't come from what you're doing, but from what you left unfinished. The human mind hates disorder, unfinished tasks, delayed decisions, unspoken words. Every time you start something and don't finish it, every time you postpone a decision, every time you know you should change something but don't, an invisible pressure gets stored in your mind. And that pressure is constantly consuming energy. You think you're resting, but your mind is still holding a list of shoulds that were never checked off. Unfinished business quietly takes your mind hostage. That's why even when you do nothing, you still feel tired, because your mind is still working. And the worst part is this. The longer this goes on, the more you get used to it. Exhaustion becomes your default state, not because you're weak, but because you've been carrying unfinished weight for too long. And until that weight is put down, no real change happens. This is where most people get it wrong. You've seen people who work more than you, carry heavier responsibilities, yet somehow their energy doesn't run out. Not because of better genetics, not because they're superhuman, but because there's one key difference. Their minds aren't busy, they're focused. A tired mind isn't a mind that works too much. It's a mind that's being pulled in too many directions at once. When you're working, while thinking about 10 other things, when your body is here, but your mind is somewhere else, you're burning energy without creating anything. Focus means being in one place, with one goal, in one moment. Most people have lost that. Phones, notifications, constant comparison, fear of falling behind. All of it fragments the mind. And a fragmented mind is always tired. That's why even small tasks feel heavy, not because they're hard, but because your mind is no longer whole. You don't have an energy problem. You have a focus problem. And until you fix that, no matter how hard you try, you'll keep feeling exhausted. Now, you need to understand a crucial truth that few people talk about. Your brain is designed in such a way that while you're trying to progress, it's actually setting itself up to move toward exhaustion. How? With dopamine. Dopamine, naturally, should make you feel rewarded and energized when you reach a goal. But in today's world, dopamine has turned into a hidden enemy. How? Your brain never gets saturated with the dopamine it needs to achieve your goals. In today's world, everything that distracts your mind from what you're supposed to be doing, like phone notifications, checking social media, or random thoughts, all of these hormonally trigger dopamine. So how does this become a problem for you? Every time you check those distractions, dopamine spikes. But as soon as you don't get the result you want, that dopamine crashes. Why? Because we are always looking for instant gratification and short-term rewards. It's a broken cycle. You're always chasing something that never fully satisfies you. This dopamine cycle constantly drains your mind because you're never thinking of one big goal. You're always chasing the now. Imagine this. You're in the middle of a workday, focused on your task, and suddenly a notification pops up. Without even thinking, you look at your phone, and your mind is taken off the task at hand. Instantly, dopamine floods your brain. For that brief moment, you feel a burst of energy. But after a few minutes, you feel drained again. This is the cycle that wears you out. This is the pattern of bad behavior that repeats itself. And this is just one reason behind mental exhaustion that you may not even realize. When we don't have a long-term goal and keep chasing quick pleasures, our brain never feels like its job is done. And as a result, we experience chronic fatigue. Now that we've talked about it, you might realize how this cycle deeply affects your daily decisions and relationships. But to fully understand what we're saying, here's the thing. When we're trapped in this cycle, we can never truly focus. We're always in the process of checking for updates, looking for instant responses to ease the mind, and ultimately missing out on opportunities. But this story isn't just about work and effort. It affects relationships too. When your mind is constantly busy, you might never fully be present for the people you care about. You might not notice that you're not spending quality time with your friends or family. You might even distance yourself from social connections because your mind is never in the moment. In fact, this state also affects your decision-making. When you're restless and constantly chasing instant pleasure, your decisions become quick and unstable. You might make impulsive decisions that you later regret. But because your mind is always in a state of emergency, you never get the chance to think through your decisions or fully understand the consequences. This situation turns fatigue into a massive problem, not just in your work life, but in your personal, social, and even mental life. Now the question is, how do you break out of this? One of the first steps is to understand that this dopamine cycle only leads to one outcome: more exhaustion, less focus, and ultimately bad decisions. If you want to challenge this, you need to start focusing on something completely new. Focus on larger, long-term goals that give your mind a chance to break free from this cycle. When your mind can focus on one big goal, those useless fluctuations won't control you anymore. But this is just the beginning. The next step is improving decision-making. Now that we've navigated through the dopamine cycle and exhaustion, it's time to look at practical steps for breaking free from this pattern. How can you free your mind and break out of this endless fatigue? The first step is to accept that this situation has gradually been imposed on you from the outside. It's not just about working harder or getting more sleep and magically fixing everything. Instead of constantly seeking an instant fix or a quick pleasure, you need to start focusing on one big, clear goal that forces your mind to integrate. Small, endless goals that keep pulling your attention apart just won't work anymore. The next step: slow but steady progress. To get your mind and body out of this cycle, you need to get to a place where every little action and fleeting feeling of reward doesn't control you. It means focusing less on instant reactions and more on one big goal. This change doesn't happen with big things. It happens because you need to look at your daily choices. Every small decision you make, whether it's about work, rest, or relationships, should align with one long-term goal. Start with 3 minutes a day. To start, give yourself 3 minutes a day to focus completely. Don't check anything. Don't do anything. Just 3 minutes of complete focus. From these 3 minutes, gradually increase the time. These 3 minutes give you the opportunity to calm your mind. And from there, you can start building new habits. How to make smarter decisions. Most people, when they talk about exhaustion, are actually referring to their minds being full of poor decisions. Impulsive decisions, decisions made without thinking. When you reach the point where you know your mind is creating constant anxiety and exhaustion, you need to be able to pause and think before making any decision. Every decision should align with your long-term goals, not just in pursuit of a quick reward or a momentary happiness. Now put everything together. You're not tired because you're weak. You're not tired because you don't sleep enough. You're not tired because you lack motivation. You're tired because your mind has been overused. Between unfinished tasks, constant distraction, dopamine loops, and the loss of real focus, your mind never had the chance to recover. And until you understand this, no external change will save you. But here's the good news. The moment you become aware, the moment you see where the problem is, you still have control. Chronic exhaustion isn't the end. It's a signal for deep change. If this video helped you, like it, subscribe, and tell me in the comments which part hit you the hardest.